evening, everybody. From Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, we bid you welcome to Reds baseball. The Reds begin a 7-game homestand as they meet Jerry Coleman's San Diego Padres. Frank Pastore will be going after his 7th win of the season, and the Padres go with left-hander John Curtis. We'll be back to take a look at the starting lineups in just a moment. If you're ready now, the starting lineups tonight for the San Diego Padres, leading off and playing left field, will be Gene Richards. Batting second at shortstop, Ozzie Smith. Hitting third, Jerry Mumphrey in center field. Batting fourth in right field, Dave Winfield. Hitting fifth, Willie Montañez at first base. Batting number 6, the catcher, Bill Fahey. Tim Flannery will be at second base in bat number 7. Hitting 8th at third base, Aurelio Rodriguez. And batting 9th and pitching for San Diego, left-hander John Curtis. Again for the Padres, it's Richards in left field, Smith at shortstop, and Mumphrey in center field. Winfield in right field, Montañez at first base, Fahey catching. With Flannery at second base, Rodriguez at third, and Curtis on the mound. Here's how the Reds batting order stacks up. Dave Collins will lead off and play center field. Batting second at shortstop, Dave Concepcion. Ken Griffey will bat third. He'll be in right field. Hitting fourth in left field, George Foster. Batting number 5 at third base, Ray Knight. Hitting 6th, first baseman Danny Dreesen. Junior Kennedy at second base will bat number 7. Hitting 8th, the catcher Don Werner. And batting 9th and pitching for the Reds, right-hander Frank Pastore. Once more for Cincinnati, it's Collins in center field, Concepcion at shortstop, and Griffey in right field. Foster in left, Knight at third base, Dreesen at first. With Kennedy at second, Werner catching, and Pastore pitching. Did you find that to be the case when you pitched?
Not necessarily. Some of the hitters thought I did.
Very well put. Here's Gene Richards, left-handed batting San Diego left fielder to start things off against Frank Pastore. Ray Knight is shallow at third base for the .292 batter. Pitch to him is swung on and lined into right field. A base hit, and this game is underway. Now, Gene Richards not wasting any time at all as he drills the first pitch of the night into right field for a single, and that'll quickly bring up shortstop Ozzie Smith. Ozzie hitting .209 with no home runs and 7 runs batted in. We made reference to that previous victory by Pastore over the Padres. Beat him in San Diego. Here's a throw to first base as Richards steps back. In that start, he went into the 9th inning before being relieved. Gave up 7 base hits, 3 runs all earned with 3 strikeouts and a walk, and a 5-3 Reds win. Another throw to Danny Dreesen, and Gene Richards is back ahead of it. Well, Ozzie Smith at the plate, following a leadoff base hit by Richards to right. On deck is center fielder Jerry Mumphrey. Here's a stretch, the pause, and the pitch to the plate, and Smith takes it low, a ball. Gene Richards with 12 stolen bases in 15 attempts. This Padre club as a whole likes to run. Stolen a total of 52 bases so far this season. Pastore again throws to first, paying a lot of attention to Richards. 1 ball and no strikes on Ozzie Smith, switch hitting shortstop, batting .182 against right-handers. The pitch to him, and that's taken inside and low, 2 balls and no strikes. As Joe mentioned, Frank having to be scratched from a start in Los Angeles because of an inflamed tendon in the middle finger of his pitching hand, an injury suffered while beating the Padres in San Diego. Needs a strike here against Smith, but again works to Danny Dreesen. Reds beat him 3 out of 4 on the West Coast. Another throw to first. And on the road trip as a whole, winning 4 and losing 3 after the 5-4 win over the Dodgers on Wednesday night. So the Reds are at home. The Dodgers are on the road in Atlanta, and Cincinnati, along with Houston, trails by 2. The 2-0 to the plate. That is taken, ball 3. So Frank Pastore has allowed a base hit to Richards and is 1 pitch out of the strike zone away from giving the Padres 2 men on and nobody out. There's ball 4. Walked him with a high fastball, and they've got 2 aboard. Center fielder Jerry Mumphrey will be the hitter as Donnie Werner comes back toward the plate after conferring with Pastore. Mumphrey hitting .264 with no home runs and 12 RBIs. Defensively for the Reds in the infield is Dreesen at first, Kennedy at second, Knight at third, Concepcion at shortstop. The outfield of Foster, Collins, and Griffey from left to right. And Don Werner continues to fill in behind the plate in the absence of Johnny Bench, still suffering from that pulled calf muscle in his right leg. So Knight pulled in at third. Mumphrey steps away from the plate as Pastore takes too much time. Mumphrey also a switch hitter, batting .273 against right-handed pitchers and .238 the other way. Pastore looks him over, delivers. Mumphrey takes. That's a strike at the knees on the inside corner. Well, this homestand will have the Padres for 4, the Pittsburgh Pirates for 3 before the Reds go back out on the road once again. Pastore trying to put down a San Diego threat here in the very first inning. He's out ahead 1 strike on Jerry Mumphrey in pitching. Swung on, foul well behind the San Diego dugout. Third base side, and the count goes to 0-2. Padres are trying to get things together. They've been beaten 8 out of the last 10 games. And really suffered a couple of tough losses at the hands of the Houston Astros, who twice came from behind in that series that ended Wednesday night at San Diego Stadium to score victories. 0-2, the count on Jerry Mumphrey. Pastore looking at Richards at second. The pitch to the plate taken high and just inside. 1-2. On deck, right fielder Dave Winfield. Richards had a base hit to right. Ozzie Smith walks on 4 straight. Warner hanging a sign. Pastore shakes him off. Now the motion and now the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with some heat up. So 1 away on the strikeout of Jerry Mumphrey, and that brings up Dave Winfield. He's hitting .288. Leads the club in RBIs with 31 and in home runs with 6. In the series on the West Coast, Winfield was 7 for 16 against Reds pitching with 1 home run and 2 RBIs. Well, this will be a 7-game homestand for the Reds. This will be the first of a 10-game road trip for the Padres. 4 here, 3 in Montreal, and 3 in Philadelphia. Winfield trying to get him around with 1 out. The infield looking for the ground ball. The pitcher, runner's breaking. It's taken for a strike. Throw to third. And did they get him? No. Ray Knight jumps up in the face of third base umpire Dave Pallone as San Diego successfully pulls off a double steal.
Marty, it certainly looked like Ray came right down on top of him with his glove. And Dave Pallone not really in that good a position to make the call. There's no question about it that he made the tag. He really reached back under his body and made the tag on Gene Richards. And Don Werner, a good throw. He had to kind of sidearm it around Dave Winfield. You know, Dave's about 6'7", and Werner trying to get over the top of him, forget it. And Don made a good play. And the reason we're able to see it is San Diego's going back to their home, and boy, Ray definitely tagged him.
Well, John McNamara getting very, very upset over the call, and one of the few times this season we have really seen him that irate as he really gives it to Dave Pallone and now slowly starts back toward the Cincinnati dugout. So the Padres with a double steal. Gene Richards swipes third. Ozzie Smith gets second. And a 1-strike count on Dave Winfield with only 1 away. Ed Vargo, the plate umpire. At first base, Satch Davidson. At second, Eric Gregg. And Dave Pallone over at third. Now Winfield, who went back to the on-deck circle while the argument waged at third base, comes back to the plate. Pastore will now work out of the stretch. Outfield deep, shading him just a bit toward left. The 0-1 on its way to the plate, and Winfield swings and loops it foul down the right field line. He's trying to go the other way, but smacked it into the seats. A foul ball that puts him behind at 2 strikes. Go at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Mike Lacoste will hook up with Rick Wise. Sunday, Paul Moscow or Charlie Leibrandt will go against Gary Lucas, and whoever doesn't pitch the Sunday afternoon game will be going Monday night against Randy Jones. Pastore getting a new baseball from Vargo, going back to the mound. 0-2 on Dave Winfield. Richards at third, Smith at second. A single and a walk respectively got him there, and after Mumphrey struck out, they both steal a base. Winfield leveling the bat as Pastore looks into Don Werner. Now the stretch, and now the 0-2 pitch. He struck him out swinging. Tell you, Frank doing a heck of a job right now with two in scoring position, and now confronted by left-handed batting first baseman Montañez, who is checking in on a .254 average with 2 home runs and 26 RBIs. Montañez second on the club in RBIs behind Winfield's 31. So back-to-back strikeouts of Jerry Mumphrey and Dave Winfield. Montañez, certainly you could consider him to be a free swinger. He'll make contact more often than not. The pitch to him on the outside edge, a strike. The offense has been a big problem for this Padres club this season. The pitching has been more than respectable. The team batting average of only .239, and as we pointed out in San Diego, the same feeling exists here in Cincinnati, and that being Jerry Coleman hoping that people like Willie Montañez will start to swing the bat the way he has in years past. Strike 2 swinging, right in on his hand. Well, Pastore really working hard. Out in front, 0-2. Richards leading at third, Smith at second here in the top of the first inning. Right-hander checks him over and brings it on up to the plate. Here it is. He struck him out swinging. Mumphrey, Winfield, Montañez. No runs, 1 hit and 2 left. After a half inning of play, the Padres nothing, and the Reds are coming to bat. John Curtis, record 3 wins, 4 losses, earned run average 4. His 11th start, no complete games. Started against the Reds last Saturday, but was not involved in the decision, a game that San Diego won 7-5. He gave up 6 hits and 5 runs in 2 1/3 innings. Big blow off of Curtis was a first-inning 3-run home run by George Foster. Dave Collins is waiting. And the pitch to the leadoff batter is swung on and hit into center field. Going back is Mumphrey, and on the run he makes the catch toward the alley in right center. Collins hit it well, but Mumphrey's able to run it down. 1 pitch, 1 out. The batter, shortstop Dave Concepcion. Davey batting .212 with 2 home runs and 19 runs batted in. Well, with a 4-3 road trip, the Reds have now won 6 of their last 9 games. Coming in here with a record of 28 wins and 22 losses. San Diego has won 24 and lost 27. Davey takes it up and in a ball. Curtis has been around. He started out in the Boston Red Sox organization. He's also pitched with the Cardinals. More recently, the San Francisco Giants. Became a free agent at the end of last year and signed on with San Diego. Missing at the knees. The count goes to 2-0. No score, bottom of the first inning. Frank Pastore with runners at second and third in the first inning, and having already struck out Jerry Mumphrey, fan Dave Winfield, and Willie Montañez to keep the Padres off the board. Over for a strike, 2-1. That's outside corner, strike 2 call. Curtis comes back to even the count at 2-2. Ken Griffey coming up next. Fahey sends out the sign. Curtis sends in the pitch. Swung on and grounded foul toward the Padre dugout. San Diego's defense has Montañez, Flannery, Smith, and Rodriguez at first, second, short, and third. In left field, Gene Richards and center Jerry Mumphrey. He caught Collins' drive, and Dave Winfield in right with Bill Fahey behind the plate. 2-2 pitch. Check swing, it's too low. Speaking of the Padre catching corps, certainly want to send along a hurried get well to Gene Tennis. We understand he bent over to tie a shoe this afternoon and suffered such pain in his back that he's at Christ Hospital tonight. Dave Concepcion swings and misses. So Curtis picks up a strikeout. Say, Gene was in quite a bit of pain. And hopefully that stay at Christ Hospital will simply be overnight. 2 away in the inning. Fahey goes to the mound, and that'll bring up right fielder Ken Griffey. Griffey hitting .295 with 3 home runs and 21 RBIs. So John Curtis trying to knock off the Reds in order. His first shot at him here. Into the windup, he kicks and fires, and Griffey takes it low, ball 1. Kenny has had base hits in each of his last 12 starts, although he had his hitting streak stopped in a pinch hit appearance in the second game of the series at Dodger Stadium. Fouls a pitch back, 1 ball, 1 strike. Over the 13 games, he has been batting at a .326 clip, going 15 for 46. One ball, 1 strike. Foster standing in the on-deck circle. Curtis deals, and it's in the dirt. Bounces away from Bill Fahey. 2 balls and 1 strike. Give Griffey a lot of room down the left field line and also over shortstop in the left center. He swings and hits it hard, but at the second baseman Flannery goes down on one knee to play it, throwing on to Montañez to get Griffey and end the inning. So the Reds up 1-2-3, and after 1 full inning of baseball, Reds nothing, Padres nothing.
Well, we'll see. Curtis delivers, and Foster swings and fouls. Off to the right and into the upper deck. The 0-1, George swings and fouls.
Heck of an effort. One heck of an effort.
Short arms.
Yeah, you gave it a shot, man.
The 0-2. Foster takes it inside. Ball 2 strikes to Foster. Line the pitch. That's swung on and line foul back under the booth. Nobody's perfect. Curtis checks with Fahey. A ball, 2 strikes to count. He delivers. Foster takes just outside and high. That evens the count at 2-2. Now the 2-2. Swung on, pulled foul deep down the left field line, and that one's into the red seats. Don't count, though. It was a line drive, really, into the red seats, but quite a bit foul. Well, the count holds at 2 balls, 2 strikes. As the pitch swung on and bounced to Rodriguez at third. Long throw in the dirt, and it bounces away and through Montañez. That'll be an error charge to Rodriguez. How did I miss that?
It was not through lack of effort, I'll tell you that. I'll give you 100%.
Microphone's out in the way, that's right. The 1-0 to Dreesen, swung on, bounced right back to Curtis. He has it, throws on to Montañez, and that's the inning. The Reds in the 4th, no runs, a hit, 1 San Diego error, 2 runners left on base, and at the end of 4, Padres 1, Reds nothing.
Stretch and the pitch. Swung on, ground ball, base hit left field. Here comes Kennedy to third. They'll hold him up. Donnie Warner 2 for 2 as he rams a ground single into left. And the Reds are threatening. Runners at first and third and nobody out. Frank Pastore now visits with third base coach Russ Nixon as Rodriguez and Curtis talk about it on the mound. Frank successfully putting down a sacrifice bunt in the third, and in all likelihood will be called upon to do it again. Rasmussen throwing in the Padre bullpen. Kennedy at third, a double. Moves to third base on Werner's single to left. Padre infield now will play up a couple of steps. Primarily talking about Ozzie Smith and Tim Flannery. Rodriguez up at third base looking for the expected Pastore bunt. Frank squares, and he bunts third base side. Up with the ball. Rodriguez will go to second. Out, throw to first. Double play. Frank Pastore, who's had more than a little trouble this season, getting down the good bunt. That time, bunts into a 5-6-3 double play. Make it 5-6-4 on the double play. Rodriguez to Smith to Flannery covering at first. Well, a pitcher's best friend, and never more so than here in the fifth in a one-run game, is Kennedy now still at third base with two outs. Well, Dave Collins, who has fly to center and grounded out to shortstop. He'll try to get the tying run in now with two out. Curtis brings it on up there. Collins takes ball one inside. Collins hitting .282. 6 for 20 on the year against San Diego. Swung on, fly ball right field. Winfield is right there, and the inning is over. So for the Reds in the fifth, it looked like they had a big inning going. They come away with no runs, 2 hits, and 1 left. And after 5 complete, Padres 1, Cincinnati nothing. Jerry Coleman pacing up and down in the San Diego dugout. Padres skipper hoping to make his first venture on this road trip a winning one, and right now leading by 2 runs. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Foster's on. So Naidu has really done some kind of fine job here this season. 32 RBIs. Has a chance to deliver still another one right here and get the Reds close. Griffey at second, Foster at first. 1 out. Pitch. Too low, ball 1. Now with Curtis facing Ray Knight, Jerry Coleman almost has to leave him in there to pitch to the hitter next up, Danny Dreesen. Barring a double play ball, of course. One with a right-hander, D'Acquisto, throwing in the bullpen. Checks the runners, Curtis does. Delivers to the plate, swung on, ground ball, base hit left field. Here comes Griffey around third. He'll come onto the plate, and it's a 2-1 ball game. And Ray Knight does it again. 33rd run batted in. Foster moves to second. Dreesen checks. It's too low. Ball 1. Danny with only 1 hit in his last 19 times to the plate, so he is due. That's too low. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, you have to suspect that if Dreesen gets aboard, he will be the last man that John Curtis will face. Well, with Kennedy and Werner coming up next, both being right-handed batters, and D'Acquisto by now should be more than ready. Dreesen out in front. 2-0. Pitch. Swung on and missed. Dreesen was spinning on that pitch. Here it is. Inside and low. 3 balls and a strike. Griffey single, went to second on the error by Mumphrey. Foster got a walk. Knight with a ground single to left field to score the first Reds run. And Curtis ready with a 3-1 delivery to Danny Dreesen. Swung on, fly ball, shallow center. That's got a chance. Mumphrey coming in. It drops for a base hit. Foster being waved around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. Cut off. 2-2 game.
Around third is Collins. He'll score easy. Into second goes Concepcion, and the Reds lead it by a score of 3-2. So we get a big break. We'll see how they call that one. We believe it'll be a base hit and a throwing error on the third baseman, Aurelio Rodriguez, his second of the game. And boy, you don't see that much out of Rodriguez, but we'll take it.
Warner takes it way outside.
Might be Coleman's theory here, too, Marty, that both Junior and Warner are not that fast of foot, and there should be a hard ground ball. Make sure they get Dreesen back to third and go on and try to complete the double play.
Good point. Swung on, fly ball right field. That's going to be deep enough to get the run in. Donnie Warner does the job as Danny tags, comes on to score. Reds lead 4-2. Barry Evans will bat for Rodriguez. Evans hitting .271. He's homered once and has 7 RBIs. Only the third time he's been sent up as a pinch hitter and hitless in those 2 attempts, 0 for 2. Turner with 1 out at second base and the pitch in at the belt. Strike call. Evans fouls it off. 2 strikes. 7 o'clock, our starting time tomorrow night. Hope you're making your plans to be with us. Mike Lacoste, Rick Wise, 2 right-handers. Sunday afternoon will be Ray Knight poster day at 2:15 beginning. Either Paul Moscow or Charlie Leibrandt will go for Cincinnati. Evans takes it, and that one just missed. Padres will be pitching Gary Lucas, a rookie left-hander, in that game. And then family night on Monday night. Moscow or Leibrandt versus Randy Jones. Whichever does not pitch on Sunday will be the pitcher on Monday night. Foul off. Evans fighting it off his hands to foul it back to the screen. Coming up next, Dave Cash. Turner double off the wall in right center. Bavacqua flies to left. Evans, the 3rd straight San Diego pinch hitter. And Hume brings it on up there. Struck him out swinging. 2 away. Second strikeout for Tom. Here's Dave Cash. Cash takes it low, ball 1. He grounded out to shortstop in the 7th inning. Good play by both Dave Concepcion going off to his right and Danny Dreesen, who stayed on the bag to grab the high throw. Cash swings and hits a fly ball into left center field. Foster going back, calling for it, and this one belongs to the Reds. In the 9th inning, San Diego with no runs, a hit and 1 left. Final score as the Reds make it 7 in their last 10. 4-2 over the Padres. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, it was a 4-2 Reds win, but Cincinnati had to come from behind to do it. They scored twice in the 6th to tie it and got an unearned run to go ahead in the 7th and an insurance run in the 8th. And it looked like San Diego was really going to come out of the gate smoking tonight. They would have had it not been for a super pitching job in the first by Pastore. Gene Richards hit the first pitch of the game into right field for a single. Ozzie Smith then followed with a base on balls. Jerry Mumphrey struck out for the first out of the inning, but then while Dave Winfield was at the plate, Richards and Smith successfully negotiated a double steal. So the Padres had him at second and third, 1 out. out, their top run producer at the plate. All Pastore did was strike Winfield out swinging and did the same to Montañez. 3 strikeouts in a row. Padres came away with nothing and stranded runners at second and third. San Diego did score in the third inning with 1 down. Gene Richards has his second hit of the night, a double to left center field. 1 out later, Jerry Mumphrey drew a base on balls, and Dave Winfield got the Padres on the board with a ground single to left field for his 32nd RBI, 1-0 San Diego. The Reds threatened in the 5th inning with a leadoff double by Kennedy and a single by Werner, moving Jr. to third, but then Pastore up there trying to bunted right into a double play. Rodriguez fielded the one-hopper at third, threw to Smith at short at second for the force out, and on to the second baseman Flannery covering at first for the double play, and the Reds came away with nothing and would look like to be a big inning. Padres made it 2-0 in the 6th inning. Mumphrey led off with a double to right and scored 1 out later on a single by Montañez. The Reds got going in the bottom half of the 6th inning. With 1 out, Ken Griffey rifled a single to right center and kept on going to second when Jerry Mumphrey allowed the ball to get away from him for an error. George Foster followed with a base on balls, and then Ray Knight and Danny Dreesen had back-to-back base hits to tie the game up at 2-2. John D'Acquisto came on. He got the last 2 outs of the inning, so after 6 we were tied at 2 runs apiece. In the 7th, the Reds broke the tie. Geronimo led off as a pinch hitter for Pastore, drew a walk. Collins tried to bunt him over, but they got the force at second. Dave Concepcion then topped one down the third base line. Rodriguez came in firing, threw the ball away at first base. Collins coming all the way around from first to score the go-ahead run that gave Cincinnati a 3-2 advantage. The Reds rounded out the scoring in the 8th on singles by Dreesen and Kennedy and a sacrifice fly by Donnie Werner, who also was a 2-hit performer on the night. Tommy Young came on over the last 2 innings, gave up a couple of hits, struck out 2 batters, but kept them off the board. And the totals on the night, the Reds had 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors, and 9 left. The Padres 2 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors, and 7 stranded. Pastore 7-2, the winning pitcher. Hume picks up his night save, and D'Acquisto's first decision in 1980 is a loss. Game 2 coming up at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. 2 right-handers, Mike Lacasse and Rick Wise, will have at it. Plenty of seats available. We'll be on the air with the pregame shows on most of these same stations beginning at 6:30 Cincinnati time. Again, the final score tonight in a game that took 2 hours and 52 minutes to play before a crowd of 23,329. The Reds 4 and the Padres 2.